Hey, it's Mark here, and welcome to the next edition of the Employee Survival Guide, where I tell you, as always, what your employer does definitely not want you to know about, and a lot more.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. You know, we usually dig into a specific topic, but today we're going to shift gears a little bit. We're looking at a resource itself, the Employee Survival Guide podcast.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and it's really caught our eye because, well, they use real legal cases, to kind of unpack all the ins and outs of employment law, which can be pretty tricky.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, learning from actual legal battles, real world stuff, I think that's a super valuable approach for anyone who, has to deal with employment law, which is pretty much all of us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At some point or another.
Exactly. And the podcast is hosted by Mark Carey, who is, well, he's an employment attorney. So he's been there, done that.
Oh, wow. So you're getting like insider knowledge straight from the source, someone who's actually been in the courtroom, fighting these battles.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's so important because it's, like you said, almost all of us have been employees at some point in our lives.
Oh, absolutely.
And even if you're like a business owner, understanding employment law is, well, it's crucial.
Well, for sure.
But it's super complicated, right?
It's a maze. It's a minefield.
It's a minefield. So hearing how these laws actually play out in real cases, I mean, it can be so helpful.
Totally. I think that's what's really cool about the Employee Survival Guide is it's not just about like what the law says on paper, but it's about, okay, how does this actually impact people's lives?
Yes, exactly.
In the real world.
And I think it really brings it home. Like one of the cases that really stuck with me that they discussed on the show was about a non-compete agreement.
Ooh, those are always tricky.
Yeah. So there was this software developer, and he left his company to start his own business, right?
Yeah.
And then his former employer sued him because they claimed he was violating this non-compete agreement he had signed.
Wow. That's a tough situation.
Yeah, and it got really messy. And it made me think, wow, you really got to understand those agreements before you sign them. Like, what's the fine print,
Absolutely. And it's a great example, right, of how these things that seem, kind of dry, like legal concepts, can actually have huge consequences in your life.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, I think, the beauty of the Employee Survival Guide. They take these complicated situations and make them, easy to understand and engaging.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like reading a textbook,
No, definitely not.
It's like you're listening to a story.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, why it sticks with you.
Totally. And it also helps, I think, to hear about these cases from an attorney's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like Carey will often point out things that you might not even consider as an employee, like the importance of documenting everything or, just those little nuances of legal arguments.
Right.
That can make all the difference.
Yeah, like those little insider tips.
Yes, exactly. Like you've got this secret weapon,
Exactly.
Up your sleeve so you can, avoid the pitfalls and protect yourself.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to work, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think, the Employee Survival Guide, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to give you that knowledge so you can navigate this complex world of employment law, and hopefully come out on top.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, I mean, if you are looking for a way to become more savvy in the workplace, I think checking out the Employee Survival Guide is a really great idea.
Yeah,
It's insightful, it's engaging, and it honestly might save you from a legal headache in the future.
A lot of stress, right?
So much stress. And that kind of brings me to a final thought for everyone listening. Think about any employment law cases that you've encountered, whether personally or just in the news. Cases that maybe left you a little confused.
Yeah, like what just happened?
What are the lessons we can learn from those situations? Keep those questions in mind. It's definitely something to think about.
Absolutely. Food for thought.
Yes.
As you navigate your work life.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, this was great.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.
If you like the Employee Survival Guide, I'd really encourage you to leave a review. We try really hard to produce information to you that's informative, that's timely, that you can actually use and solve problems on your own and at your employment. So if you like to leave a review anywhere you listen to our podcast, please do so. And leave 5 stars because anything less than 5 is really not as good, right? I'll keep it up. I'll keep the standards up. I'll keep the information flowing at you. If you'd like to send me an email and ask me a question, I'll actually review it and post it on there. You can send it to mcarey@capclaw.com. That's capclaw.com.